Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel, and today in my video I'll be discussing regarding the Hadoop ecosystem that is in Apache. So to get started, this is the ecosystem in Hadoop. So each of these components have elephant in common, like what the symbol of Hadoop represents. So there are these many components which comprises of the ecosystem of the Hadoop. And there are two major components, that is the MapReduce and HDFS, which we have discussed in the previous two videos. So that remains an exception, means I have already explained about what these two components stand for. Let us understand what the other systems or other components are there in the Hadoop ecosystem. So first we come across the Ambari, that is the management and monitoring. Now this words which are written in blue color are given as the code words for this Hadoop ecosystem, and the text which is written in red color is for the functionality. So Ambari basically is used for the management and monitoring, means Hadoop will provide a dashboard basically. Now this dashboard will be used for monitoring of the cluster health as well as the performance issues for each of the data nodes, name nodes which are contained in the HDFS as well as the MapReduce architecture. So next is the Zookeeper. Zookeeper is used for the coordination. Now it is the most important part of the Hadoop ecosystem, which consists all of the centralized naming services, synchronization, and other configuration systems or services that has to be started are contained in this Zookeeper. So it comprises of the most important, which controls all the other components in fact. Next we move to the Uzi, that is, this is for the workflow and for the scheduling. So this Uzi is mainly done for the allocation and resource management of the jobs which are submitted, while for example in MapReduce, when the client submit the job to the MapReduce, it divides it into two successive jobs, and then each of these jobs are executed by mapping to a particular memory location. So Uzi is mainly done for the workflow and scheduling. Next we have this central component called as the pig. Now this pig is mainly used for scripting. Now since there is a much larger amount of data which are contained in the Hadoop, so this pig is basically used for clubbing it into smaller pieces of chunks of data so that it can be processed easily and more efficiently. Means developers can have a choice to programming as well as for code optimization. So these two major features are there with this pig that is used for scripting purpose, or scripting, or in fact you can say for coding purposes. Next we have the Mahout, that is for the machine learning purpose. That is, you can say that an artificial agent or is kept here in the Hadoop ecosystem, which will basically monitor all the incoming traffic, and it will process them accordingly based upon various algorithms such as the clustering, classification, frequent item set mining. So these are the few important algorithms which are required in the machine learning. So all these things are incorporated into the Mahout, which are a part of the Hadoop ecosystem. Next we have the Hive, that is for querying. Now this provides an SQL-like interface to your Hadoop ecosystem for ad hoc queries and for executing remote operations and for managing and controlling all the other essential parts which are required for the Hadoop processing and for clustering as well. Next we have talked about the MapReduce for distributed processing among large clusters of computers which are of millions and millions of nodes, and it also acts in a fault tolerant and resistive manner. Now next is the HDFS, which is also used for the storage and fault tolerant mechanism and more reliable for storing of the data. Means this is for distributed storage and this is for distributed processing. So next we move to the HBase, that is the Hadoop database. Now this HBase is a special type of database, that is a columnar database which is seen only in Hadoop ecosystem. Now there is a relationship between this Zookeeper as well as the HBase. Now you can have this Hadoop ecosystem without having this Zookeeper. Means without involving the Zookeeper, you can have the Hadoop ecosystem. But if that is the case, and if you are using the HBase, then it is not operational. Means HBase works upon Zookeeper. Means these two components are dependent. If Zookeeper is present, then only it can perform some operations which are based upon the Zookeeper. So HBase basically has some column oriented like the data which it stores in a column format. Now mainly this HBase has two components which is called as the HBase master and a region server. HBase master will schedule all of the jobs, small jobs onto the region server at what particular region they have to execute, and this region server in turn will process the data and return back to the HBase master. And moving on to the final and last component, that is the scoop, rest or ODBC. Means out of three, any one is used. So mostly preferred is the scoop. Scoop stands for the SQL to Hadoop. Now this scoop is mainly used for converting of the databases from Windows Azure or Amazon Dynamic DB. So mainly these are used for internal representations which will be used for generating the report as well as for maintaining the data integrity and the security purpose. So this is the Hadoop ecosystem of Apache Hadoop in detail. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching this video.